Welcome to the Private Practice Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Brooklyn Storm, here to help you unlock the mind, business, and spirit of your private practice success. So whether you're just starting out or you're looking to grow, this is the place for you if you really want to create a thriving private practice. Before we dive in, I want to share something that can really make a difference in your business. Imagine having an expert in your pocket, someone available on demand whenever you need guidance. Well, that's exactly what my new program, Practice Momentum, offers. With over 30 years of experience at your fingertips, you can now get the support you need whenever you need it. Curious? Head over to brooklynstorm.com to learn more. And now let's get into today's episode.
This is a little voice memo just to anybody who's considering joining Momentum, Practice Momentum with Brooklyn. I have found it to be hugely supportive to have someone who is a professional and had years and years of experience and understands marketing and understands websites. I've only been doing Momentum as a member for the last 2.5 months, but Brooklyn has taught me things that I did not know were important for my counseling practice. Brooklyn has been really fantastic at getting back to me as soon as she really possibly can. She never likes to leave you hanging, and she's super available, and you can really ask her anything. Nothing's off limits so far as what I've recognized. I'm excited for what's to come. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. So I do feel like really good things are in store. I've only just gotten to the very first part of Momentum, and it's only going up and up. And I'm so happy that it's a 12-month subscription, because it feels like it needs to be that, because she has so many resources and supply and so many resources that you can tap into and use or not use. And I would love to be able to explore them. And it's going to take me more than a couple months to do that. So it's good. I'll get to utilize what's interesting for me and what's going to help for my private practice.
Okay, guys, this is my third time recording this. I feel like it's just not the day to do it. There he goes. Yes, so the little one, the one with 4 paws, who's 2 years old, has decided that he doesn't like to go outside to the bathroom because he doesn't like to stand on my wet AstroTurf. I had to put it down because where I live, a lot of the ground doesn't have grass on it. It's pine needles, and what's beneath that is clay. And Gabe, my previous puppy, he used to get clay in between like the little pads on his feet, and then it would dry if I didn't get to it in time, and I was just always worried it was going to be pulling on him and stuff like that. So anyway, for Gabe, I ended up getting the AstroTurf. This little fella doesn't love it. So what he prefers to do is hold on for as long as he can, and eventually when he feels ready, he will like brave it and go out there. But yeah, he's just not a fan. So I've tried to record this episode twice already. This is number 3, because the other 2 times he kept interrupting me, saying that he thought he might need to go outside. But when I got up and opened the door and everything, he changed his mind. So anyway, there's that. And then the other thing too is I'm just feeling like not myself today. For some reason, I have no idea why, but for some reason, it's kind of like in my chest, kind of like, where your heart is. I'm not reading much into it, but I'm just feeling like a bit nervous, like kind of like there's something, I don't know, like there's dread or something. I have no idea what's brought it on. I don't have a trigger. Everything's actually going really well, and I've had a really good morning. So yeah, I'm just trying to like take it easy, and I just thought I'm going to finish early today, have some time for me, just do some self-care, which is probably going to look like getting in the bath with my Sudoku puzzle book. But I really wanted to do this podcast because there's a process that I used this morning that I found so helpful for content creation. And I know that some of you aren't sure really what to post or what to say or what to write and things like that. And I thought this was so effective that how could I not share it with you? So that's what we're going to talk about today. And then the other thing that I want to talk to you about is something in the woo experience. So yeah, I was going to lead with that because it's interesting. It's really big. It's like unbelievable big, right? I was going to lead with that, but then I thought, oh, well, if people aren't into that, then they're not going to listen to the episode. So I'll start with the business stuff first on the content creation. And then if you're not into the woo, you can just click out. But if you're into the woo, hang back because have I got a story for you? Okay, so yeah. What happened was I was doing my own little mental debrief, right? So after I do a launch, I like to do a debrief. And usually it's putting pen to paper or like typing it out into a Google Doc, something like that. But it's a little bit of a debrief that just helps me understand what worked, what didn't, so that I can have a better launch next time. So this morning, or late last night, this morning, the July intake closed for Practice Momentum. And so I had to go in and I had to like update the waitlist page, all of that, And then when I was getting ready to do the debrief, I started to think, oh yeah, okay, so I've got to go back and check my content and see how I was marketing it, all of this, blah, blah, blah. And almost before I even went and checked, I knew I didn't really market it. Now, it's not to say I didn't, because I did. Some of my beautiful clients gave me audio testimonials. I did update my sales page. I sent a couple of emails. I shared a couple of Facebook posts. But honestly, I can say there really wasn't a launch. A launch generally looks like you plan out a runway. So that runway, for something like Momentum probably should have been between 4 and 6 weeks. And that's like daily content. It looks like opt-ins, emails, freebies, maybe a mini training, stuff like that. But it's like pretty much all you talk about for that period of time. I didn't do that. Like I was kind of talking about all kinds of different things. So yeah, I don't really think that I did what you could call a launch. I think I mentioned it on a few occasions and then pretty much like let it be. So that was the first thing. And then like with that realization, I thought that was super interesting. And then I went and had a look at, what did I actually share on my emails and on my Facebook and everything. And I thought, now this is really interesting too, because I can see that when I shared stuff, I don't know really how to say it. I think I was like, I don't know. I love to tell stories. I love to share examples. I love to talk about wins and progress. I love to talk about why I made things and stuff like that. And I can't believe that I did so little of it. So I don't think there was anything wrong in inverted commas with my content. I think I just didn't do enough. And when it opens again over Christmas, start of the new year, I'll do it properly. Anyway, when I was looking at the content, I thought, okay, blah, blah, blah. I've got to write more content, right? Because that's what we do. I've got to write some more content. What I really want to say that's going to really connect with my audience and that's really going to, I guess, I want to build rapport. I want to do it through story. I want to share experience. I want to be transparent. So I want to keep doing all of those kinds of things. I think sometimes what can happen is when you don't have a plan or something like that, or if you're like me, you wait for inspiration and then you speak to the thing that is inspiring, right? But I just felt like I wanted some guidance. And so for that reason, I thought to myself, hey, do you know what? Well, hang on, guys, this is going to be like a little bit woo. So just, okay. I thought, yeah, I'm just going to ask, the heavens. I'm going to ask source. I'm going to ask energy, universe, whatever. My team, I'm going to ask for guidance. So that's what I did. And it was so interesting because get this. I don't know if I mentioned this to you or not a little while ago, but I do use cards, not for fortune telling or anything like that, and not with clients for divining futures. I just have to say that because there's always somebody who says, you shouldn't be using cards. But anyway, you and I know it's not for that. For other things, right? Inspiration, the journal prompts, ideas, new perspectives, tapping into the subconscious, right? All the things you can't see, all of that. Anywho, a couple of weeks ago, I just put it out there and I was saying, do oracle cards work? Like, do they actually work? And can I call you in, i.e., I don't know, my guides, for example, my guides, my pa, Gabe, like whoever, my spiritual team, can I call you in and use your energy to show me the right card? And the answer that I got was cards can work, absolutely. But if you're looking for something that's specific, to you, and you're looking for even more clarity or something like that, yes, everything's energy, and we can show you the right card that you need to see that day in that moment from that particular deck if you ask us for help. If you ask us to show you the card, then we can. So they have to be invited, right? I know it's like spirituality 101. But anyway, so this morning I was sitting there and I was like, okay. And I got out my deck of cards. They're called Wealthy Woman Oracle Deck. I got them when I was in Daylesford about 6 or 7 weeks ago. I'm there again in 2 weeks. I'm so excited. Anyway, and so I got them out and, I just kind of said, I welcome you into the space and I'm wanting some guidance around what my audience really needs from me now. Like, what do they really need to hear from me? What could I be talking about that would land for them in terms of where they are now at this point? Show me all of this. Please work through the cards and show me the card that I need to see. And anyway, the card that came out was a really great card, and it was talking about using your lessons, basically. It goes into more detail than this, and I'll share it with you shortly because it's related to something that I can't talk to you about for maybe, 2 weeks, but I will come back to it, I promise. So, yeah. I was thinking, this is really interesting to talk about my lessons. And it was talking about how, you got to tap into your experience and the wealth of knowledge that you've got doing the work that you've been doing and start sharing the actual lessons from it. So that led me to then, create a journal prompt. So for me, the way that I receive guidance and get answers and clarity is by asking questions. So I wrote out a question which was something along the lines of, and I'll share it with you in 2 weeks, don't worry, something along the lines of, what are the lessons that I've learned as a private practice coach that are relevant to women who are starting or growing their business and maybe having a bit of a struggle with it. And from there, it was like I was journaling for hours, like probably about 3 hours. And I've got maybe 30 pieces of content. I've just posted one. And they all feel so good. They all feel so good. So I just kind of divided my page into 2 columns. And in the left column, I just kind of wrote out like the main idea, which was just a sentence or 2. Like this morning's one, I can tell you, was what are the lessons for therapists in private practice that are currently experiencing slow growth, no growth, or even a sense that they're going backwards with the practice. So that was like the topic. And then in the right hand column, I was just like free writing, kind of like dot points, a few of the main points that I wanted to elaborate on when I actually come to write the piece of content. So anyway, when I finally got up, I had, 30 pieces of content, but I'd also lost 3 hours, but it felt like 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just looking at it all now and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like this is so good. So yeah, I wanted to share it with you because it's been a really helpful process. So for you, what that could look like is, maybe asking yourself a question of, what are the lessons that I've learned for my clients to take away? So think about maybe somebody that you worked with this morning or yesterday, right? Or Monday even. Think about, a client. Think about what you were talking about. Go and have a look at some of your scrap pieces of paper from when you're on the phone to people. And, you will see something there and ask yourself, what's the lesson in this? And that becomes the topic. How's that? I know. And guess what? It's not from AI. It's not from ChatGPT or anything like that. It's not off a template. This is from you. And it's going to be so powerful and so helpful and so impactful because it's got your energy, right? Nobody else has got that lesson. You're the one with that lesson. Do you see? How good is that? I know. It's so good. It's so good. Okay. So there was that. The other thing that has been happening, which I'm also very excited about, is I mentioned to you a couple of episodes ago, we were talking about passive income, and I mentioned that I'd been able to buy something off Etsy. And then in that moment when I was sharing that with you, I had the realization that, oh, hey, maybe I am able to use Etsy again. So if you missed that episode, what happened was I had an Etsy shop. It was doing really well. When I say really well, it was bringing in between $500 and maybe $1,000 a month. It fluctuates, but it was in that ballpark. And I never even realized that for a long time, because when sales come in, they come in kind of in dribs and drabs. Sometimes people buy a few things at once, but usually they just come in sort of dribs and drabs. It's not until you sit down and add up the money that you're like, oh my gosh, this was bringing in an extra nearly $12,000, well, between $6,000 and $12,000 a year. And then anyway, what ended up happening just very quickly was just out of the blue, totally random, shop was suspended, no idea why. Lots of appeals to Etsy, no response. Appeals to Better Business Bureau, to liaise with Etsy. Etsy wasn't liaising with Better Business Bureau. Better Business Bureau closed the case. I joined lots of Etsy forums. Turns out happened to a lot of people all at the same time. None of us knew why. Anyway, a few weeks ago, went on to Etsy to buy something. I don't even remember what it was. And then when I was talking to you about it, that's when it dawned on me, oh, hey, no longer suspended. Very interesting. I wonder if I can go back on and do a shop. So my old shop, gone, deleted, finished. And it had, nearly 800 products in it because I had set a goal to get 1,000. So anyway, that's all gone. No problem. I'm fine with that because everything's different now. And I want to do things differently now. And I've got more experience behind me now. And I know for me what direction I want to take it in, what works, what doesn't work, all those kinds of things. So anyway, I'm super excited because guess what? I'm going to start another Etsy shop. So there's that. And I'm really, really excited about it because looking forward to some more passive income, which brings me to something else. I got it in my head that I wanted to have not a membership, but I really want to have a subscription again because I enjoy having subscription services, right? I haven't had them for, I think 12 months now. And yeah, I would really like to do that again. So at the same time, I didn't want to do anything that was going to drain me. I want to do stuff that energizes me. It has to not require big time commitments. It's got to be something that I can do like on my own schedule, like when I'm kind of in the mood, all those kinds of things. But I also knew that it had to be like high value, because otherwise no one's going to subscribe. So it had to be high value. And yeah, I just got this like big burst of ideas. And anyway, I'm starting this subscription membership. I haven't opened it yet. Like today's Wednesday, the 16th of July. I'm not sure when I'm going to open it. And I guess I was kind of thinking I would like to have it the first of the month. So what it is it's an email subscription monthly, right? People pay, I haven't finalized it, but I think it's going to be $27 a month for founding members. And then like that'll be, if you join before this day, you can have $27 a month, but everybody who joins after it might be $47 a month, right? Yeah. And so it's like a product a month delivered to your inbox that's going to help you with private practice. And I've already gone and created, I've mapped out like the first 4 or 5 months for the first 4 or 5 products. I'm sharing everything like behind the scenes, how I'm doing it, the process, all of this inside Practice Momentum, because, you know, there's women in there that want to set up passive income too. So, and I want them to see like what it looks like, you know, you can do what I did, which was a couple of years ago. Like I bought courses from people on how to do all of this. But the thing with doing that is people give you very polished stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I guess you don't get to see how many things they had to try before they found the thing that worked, or you don't get to see what was the process behind creating this particular thing, or how did they land on this particular model, right? So for me, email subscription works well because I've got a whole month to make something. I can pre-make a couple of things so that if I'm unwell or, you know, not in the mood or something, I've still got a product that's there ready to go. Email just works well for me. I know I do not want to have another membership where there's a community, because I find them now, I like helping, but communities are just not great for me and my energy, because it's a commitment and I don't like letting people down. But at the same time, I also don't like having to turn up for things if I'm not in the right space or I'm not in the right energy and things like that. So all of my memberships were closed down. I shut them all down last year or the year before. I can't remember. So I knew it. For me, that membership model wasn't going to work. Also, in the past, when I've done memberships, I've made so much content because I wanted to provide a lot of value. Looking back, didn't need to do any of that. Probably a mistake in some ways that I did, in terms of I put a lot of pressure on myself to go and create all this content. I always try my best to make sure that the content is, you know, helpful, high value, all the things, more than what they were expecting, But any course creator is going to tell you that a lot of people get access to your content and they use bits and pieces, and you're lucky if they get through like 20 or 30%. So yeah, lesson learned. But anyway, so that's how I came up with the idea of, for me at this point, it's going to be an email membership. So it's like a little resource, and the resource is something that helps them with their private practice. It is practical. It can be consumed in 10 minutes or less. It's got extras like templates if people want to use them, and, you know, swipe files and things like that. But it's not overloaded with stuff because I want to keep it simple. My audience are usually very, very busy. They're either like busy doing so many things trying to get clients or make money, or they're juggling, a relationship and family and children and part-time work and trying to get the practice going after hours and on weekends, or they're in full-time study and they're trying to, plan out the practice and things like that. So I know that they're really busy. So it's like short, sharp bursts of goodness for the private practice. It's email that after they've had the first one or two, they're going to be like so excited for email 3, 4, 5, and 6 because they've experienced it, right? They've had wins, they've had results. And so now they're excited and they're like looking out for, if it's the first of the month, for example, like, oh, first of the month is coming. I wonder what I'm getting next in my little subscription inbox thing. So this is the thinking behind it. From a business perspective, well, hang on. It's a passion project, right? Because I love making things. I'm very creative. I get, struck with inspiration a lot, and it feeds that need, right? I want to be able to channel it and without having massive commitments. So this works really well. So it fills my cup. It lights me up. It energizes me. I love it. I'm really, 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 really enjoying it so much. So that's from a me perspective. From a business perspective, it works because it brings in, it's not passive income because I have to make something every month. So let's call it passive-ish, right? It's passive-ish. It doesn't require maintenance from me at all. Like, of course, from time to time, I'll maybe upgrade things for people, and I love to do that, and I've never charged anybody for an upgrade. Whether you've bought my essential forms, or whether you were in PP 101, or whether you're in the marketing program, whether you've been in my world for a little while now, you will know that I love to do upgrades, and you never get charged. So there will be things that I do upgrade from time to time, but basically from a business perspective, this is a way of me, adding in another revenue stream for the business, and it doesn't take away, it adds. Do you know what I mean? So I'm really, 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 really excited about it. So that's happening, and I've called it Booked and Better. And the reason that it's called Booked and Better is because the two things that a lot of my audience struggle with are getting clients and doing things better in the practice. Like, I want a better process. I need a better system. I need a better mindset. I need a better this. I need a better that. So it's like, how do we make this particular thing here in the practice better for you, whether that's more simple or easier or whatever? How do we do that for you in the shortest way possible? So I love it. And of course, like, hopefully, as people are in for a little while, they're in my world and they're loving it. And then when they get to the point where they're wanting some help with the private practice, maybe they will then, apply for momentum. Who knows? But it's like totally standalone. Yes, it can be part of the pathway. It's not intended to be, but it can be. And I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for it. So yesterday I've just finished doing like the mock-up for it. Today I had planned on writing the sales page for Booked and Better. I haven't done it yet. I don't think that I will, because my energy is just like not where I really want it to be. Like, I'm just feeling, as I said, I'm feeling a bit like tingly, fuzzy, nervous. I have no idea why. I just am. And I haven't felt this way for I can't even remember when the last time was that I felt this way. So I just know now is not the time for me to be doing the thing. So anyway, now you have heard today about how I'm creating content at the moment. Of course, I'm tracking everything, and I will keep you posted on how it all goes. And then if it's working, I will put it all together as an actual sort of framework process with a mini training, and you can have a look at it. What else? And yeah, I've told you about Etsy and what's happening there. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're going to do an Etsy shop and you're using templates, I don't know if I've probably mentioned this before, because it's like, yeah, it stops you. It's not that it's a bugbear of mine, because it's not. Like, I don't really, whatever you want to do, whatever products you want to make, go for it. I guess my thing is, I want you to actually sell them, right? So if they're PDFs and things like that, I want you to actually be able to sell them. And for that reason, I just want to say, in case I didn't before, if you're selling things on Etsy, just make sure if you're using templates that you rebrand them, and you rebrand them properly, meaning you change the colors, you change the cover, you put your fonts, you put your logo, you change your title, all those kinds of things. Because the last thing that you need is to be selling something and it just doesn't occur to you to go and do a search for that exact same thing. But your clients are searching for that thing. And what do you think it's like for them when they open up Etsy and there's 80 copies of the anxiety journal and they all look pretty similar, right? The only thing different is the price point. So yeah, if you're using templates and they're not selling, it's probably because you haven't made them specific to your audience yet. So that's the thing. Yeah. So I know, I'm so excited. So today it was going to be for me doing the sales page, and I want to get Etsy up and running. But anyway, as I said, energy isn't quite there. So anyway, you've got those things now. You've heard about a process, and you've heard about what I'm doing behind the scenes. So yeah, if you don't want to stay and listen to a woo-woo thing that I'm going to share, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I'll have another one for you on Saturday. Thank you. Have a beautiful rest of the day. For everybody else, thanks for staying. This is going to blow your mind. Okay, so do you remember that I shared with you recently that I had been testing my guides? I'm still not quite sure. My friend Karen said, refer to everyone as your team. So I'm just going to say that. So yeah, I've been testing them. So you remember that story. And if you didn't hear it, it was in a recent episode. I was driving because on a Friday, that's when I have my day off and I'm out and about and I get inspiration, right? So I was talking about it. It's a car episode. Sorry, guys. And anyway, yeah, basically the short version was, at night I was going to sleep, I was asking questions, I was asking for proof, I was asking for evidence that, my team were there, that I was supported, blah, 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 blah. And I was getting it. And I was getting it by doing things like saying, this is so crazy, I know, this is so crazy, but I was saying something like, give me a sign, do something to my foot, for example. And then something would happen to my foot or wherever. Anywho, what happened the other day, it was Friday night. I had been asking for guidance, and it was about the home that I'm working on manifesting. And I said to my team, if you have already found the home, let me know. Give me a sign before I go to sleep tonight. So I'd giving them a timeline. It was lunchtime when I was saying this. It's give me a sign before I go to sleep tonight. Make it something that's really obvious for me, something that I wouldn't normally see or experience or recognize or anything like that. Got to be quite abstract, because otherwise I'll miss it. If you have. If you haven't found it, don't give me a sign. Okay, so it's no sign is a sign. But if you have, give me this thing that's very obvious. Anyway, I went about the day, and then I went and picked the little one up from doggy daycare, brought him home. We had dinner. I had my bath with my Sudoku puzzle, all the things. Then Buddy and I were just watching some Netflix, and then, got ready to go to bed. And so I was packing up, and he sleeps on my bed with a blanket on the bed to protect the bed, but also to keep him warm. And I was walking around my bed and I had to walk past a set of tall boys and the drawer was open. And I didn't think, it's not like me to leave a drawer open. But anyway, I just closed it. I put the blanket down, got Buddy settled, turned around and the drawer was open again. And so I thought to myself, I thought I closed that. And so I just closed it, right? And then I got changed and everything, turned off all the lights, went to bed. And as I was laying there, I was thinking, I didn't get a sign. So that must mean they haven't found my house yet. And then I thought, now hang on, maybe the drawer was the sign, because right when I first saw it open, I thought it was so strange because I never leave my drawers open. And I swear I closed it. And then I went and made the bed for Buddy. And then when I was coming back around, the drawer was open again. And then I just put it down to me, perhaps not paying attention. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I intended to. Maybe I thought I was going to close it and I didn't, whatever. So I started thinking about it even more. I thought, hang on. What if that drawer being open was the sign? So I got up and I double checked that the drawer was closed and took a photo for myself of the drawer being closed. Then I went to bed. It's like my t-shirt drawer, So then I go to bed and I'm laying down and I ask the question, did you open the drawer? Was opening the drawer the sign? And if, hang on, screensavers come on at the good bit. There we go. And if opening the drawer was the sign, do it again. And so I'm just laying there and I guess maybe I waited. It wasn't that long, but it felt like a long time. Maybe it was about 30 seconds. Felt like an hour, but it wasn't. And then all I did was I sat up and I got my iPhone and I just pointed it in the direction of the tall boys and I took a photo. It was pitch black. My flash came on. I had to wait a minute for the image to do its thing. And then when I looked at it, guess what? The drawer was open. The drawer was open. Part of me wanted to freak out, but part of me was just like, okay, cool. It was like, I know that I'm connected. Okay, this is not scary. This is just them giving me the very obvious sign that I was asking for. And I went to sleep. In the morning, I woke up and the drawer was still open. And to satisfy my own curiosity, I thought I better just check it and make sure that there's nothing that's fallen behind that could be making it pop open or something like that. So I checked everything. It all looked fine. I closed the drawer again. And do you know what? That drawer hasn't opened since. I know. So anyway, now I'm very excited because the house is there. The house is coming and it's just a matter of divine timing. The universe just has to do its thing. Maybe it's got to help the people who are thinking about selling it, sell it. Maybe it's got to help me line up some things. Maybe it's got to help the real estate agent line up some things and the conveyancers and everybody else who's involved, a bank, whatever. So I understand that it's all happening kind of behind the scenes and it feels so good. So one of the other things that I've been doing is, I have been screenshotting beautiful interiors, different interiors and stuff like that for the house, because I'm thinking, I don't know what it's going to look like. Is it going to be brand new? Is it going to be old? Is it going to, I'm manifesting one that doesn't need renovation, but I'm sure I'm going to want to go in and put my own touch on it, right? But I don't know, like, is it going to be a square kitchen or a galley kitchen? Is it going to have an island or a bench? Is it going to have both? So I'm just like taking screenshots of all different sort of setups so that I can have options for like making it feel like really, really special. And I'm just so excited about it. I'm so excited about it. I cannot wait. So anyway, that's kind of like what's been happening. I know it's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot. But if you looked at my diary, I think I only had, I had 2 appointments this week and 1 rescheduled because she's on holiday. So in terms of like the client work, it's been pretty quiet. And so I've had space to be able to do things like work on the first product for the subscription. And I'm so, so, so excited about it. I cannot wait for you to see it. Like, it's really going to solve a massive problem. I think maybe the subscription's going to have slow uptake initially because people maybe don't know me, or they're new to my world, or they might be suspicious, or they might assume maybe it's not going to be good content like when they get their product or something like that. So I'm sure it's probably going to be a little bit slow going initially, like most things, but then it's going to like pick up some momentum, and yeah, it's going to be so great. I'm so excited because one of my very favorite things in the whole world is, like, you know, when you make a product for your clients and you put it out there and then it's like slow to take off, and then all of a sudden it just like boom, everybody's buying it, and then they start letting you know like how much they loved it. And they're like, oh, what else have you got? Do you have anything else like this? Could you make me something like that? It's like the best. It just gives you like a feeling of, oh, I'm really helping. Like, I'm on the right track here. This is really useful. Like, for me, it's like acts of service is my love language. And so I am so, so, so excited. I'm managing my expectations. I'm just reminding myself of like my past experience with introducing new things. They can be slow. It's like when you open your diary for the first time in your private practice, or if you change locations and you have to open your diary again. You know how initially like it can be a little bit slow to sort of begin with, and then all of a sudden it just like one day it's just like boom. It's going to be like that. So I'm just using this time now to do some of the behind the scenes stuff. So it'll be sales page. But then the other thing that I want to do is actually create the second and third products so that I've got them up my sleeve to cover me energetically for just in case. I don't know, like maybe I've gone away, maybe it's Christmas or Easter, or maybe I'm spending time getting used to my new home. I want to have these things automated, scheduled, ready to go out. So it's like as hands off as it can possibly be. And it's just doing its thing, and it's just helping people, and it's bringing in, as I said, a little bit of passive-ish income. It's passive from the point of after you've made it, it's mostly passive. From time to time, you're going to get the odd person who says, oh, I didn't get the email. And, you know, for whatever reason, they've missed it. Maybe it's gone into their junk, or they just didn't see it or something, right? So from time to time, but it's pretty unusual, doesn't normally happen. You might get people from time to time that are unsure how to cancel. You know, I mean, it says on the receipt, click here to cancel, but some people miss it. So from time to time, there's like little things like that. But generally speaking, I would say it's 99% hands off after the product is made. You've just got to make it, put the information together so people know what they're getting, and set up your automation, which just means like set up your workflows. Once all that's done, yeah, it's mostly hands off. It's pretty cool. I love it. Like for someone like me who wants to be more hands-off in the business but still help people and still receive revenue in different ways to the business, yeah, it's pretty cool. I love it. So anyway, if you're in Practice Momentum, you will get to see all of this happening behind the scenes. And You don't need to subscribe or pay for it because, of course, I'm going to give you like access to everything just for being in momentum. So yeah, don't buy it, guys, if you see it being discussed and, shared, because you will. But yeah, don't you buy it, you get it. Okay, so I think that's all that I really wanted to share today. I know, the woo, right? Has anything like that happened to you too? Like, do you ask for signs and get them as well? It's so interesting. Yeah, so interesting. But also, I hope that the process for creating content was really helpful for you too. I really want you to stop using ChatGPT or Claude or whatever you're using, because I think it reduces your ability to write, and I think it creates a disconnection between you and your clients. It's probably a topic for a whole other episode, but there's research coming out now that shows that when people are relying on AI to perform certain tasks that they used to do themselves, that those parts of their brain, the neural pathways, the neural connections, are starting to like disappear. I know, it's scary. We don't want that happening for you. There are ways to use AI for your private practice, and there are ways perhaps not to. Don't let it write your content. Of all things, don't let it write your content. Let it add SEO, let it check it for grammar and typos and spelling and things like that, but don't let it write your content for you. All right. Thank you so much for listening, being part of my world. I'm so excited to share something with you that was relevant to today's episode that I can't write now, but I will be able to in about 2 weeks. All right, my lovelies, have a beautiful day. Bye. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Private Practice Podcast. So as you reflect on today's insights, imagine creating real success in your private practice without going down rabbit holes or exhausting yourself with business activities that don't move the needle. With Practice Momentum, you have push of a button help available on demand. It's like having an expert in your pocket ready to guide you whenever you need it. Visit brooklynstorm.com to discover how Practice Momentum can transform your approach to building a thriving practice. I'm Dr. Brooklyn Storm, and I'll see you next time as we continue exploring the mind, business, and spirit of private practice success.